Now, if you run a grease trap cleaning company or a wood cleaning company or a chimney sweep, any recurring specialty services, your dispatching problem is completely different from a normal HVAC or a plumbing company. Because when a regular service company schedules a job and something goes wrong, they just wasted a truck roll. But you schedule a job and something goes wrong, then your truck outflows or overflows on a public street. And let me show you why the companies in this space that figure out dispatching problem first are going to dominate the market. So here's what most dispatching tools miss, and most dispatching advice is completely garbage when it comes to this niche services. So a normal service company dispatches job, one tech, one job, one location, done. But your business doesn't work like that. You've got three things that's happening at the same time that make dispatching exponentially harder. Number one, capacity constraint. This is the main one. But your trucks have a tank, 2,000 gallons capacity, maybe 4,000, and every job fills it up. So the more jobs you do, the truck gets filled up. And you can't just keep running jobs. At some point, you have to stop, dump all the waste, and then calculate. And on site, you need to be aware of these things. The second thing is recurring schedules with flexible windows are messed up because most of your revenue isn't from emergency costs like HVAC or plumbing, it's contract. So every 30 days or every 60 days or every 90 days, you have to go and clean the place or the location. But every 30 days doesn't mean the 15th of every month. It means somewhere in the 5-week window. And that flexibility is what makes the scheduling a bit harder. And third one, which I find it very difficult, is time restrictions. Your customers are not house residential customers who tell you that, hey, 9 in the morning, I'm going to be near my office and you can come between there. Your customers are restaurants, commercial kitchens, food trucks, and you can't pump a grease trap during the lunch rush. Some places come between 4 and 6 p.m. Some say come between 12 or 2 in the morning. And someone just says, hey, come between 1 a.m. and 11 a.m. And these time schedules make things exponentially harder. And now multiply this across like 200 recurring customers, 5 trucks, 4 different service types, cleaning, wood cleaning, chimney trap, etc. And this is what your dispatcher is trying to solve every single day. And if you want to scale past 5 technicians or 5 trucks, it's going to be a nightmare. How do we solve this? First of all, let's say problem number 1. Your dispatcher is guessing on capacity every single day. They are either manually writing it down or doing the math. But here's what happens. Your dispatcher looks at the schedule and says that, hey, you know what? Truck 2 has a 2,000 gallon tank. The restaurant is about 300 gallons. That other one is about 500, which comes to around 800. And I can fit maybe 5 jobs. That's basically the guessing game the dispatcher plays, which is right when you have 2 trucks or 3 trucks or 4 trucks. But that word, like maybe, is going to be costing you money once you scale. Because if the guesses are wrong, if a 300 gallon job is actually 450, or if there's extra build up because the customer skipped their last cleaning, now your driver is at job 5 with a full tank, nowhere to go. So they call it dispatch scrambles. They have to find a dump location, drive there, dump, drive back, pick up where they left off. That detour cost you an hour and a half. And the last 2 jobs of the day, they are getting pushed back to tomorrow. And now imagine AI dispatching that knows estimated gallons of the job based on the average. It can predict, and then it tracks the cumulative capacity in real time and then automatically schedules dump trips at the optimal point. Now, it doesn't guess, it calculates, and it builds dump trip into the route, basically at the night, for example. So a driver never has to call in and say, hey man, I'm full, where do I go? And that alone saves you like 4 or 6 hours every week in their fleet. Now problem number 2, and honestly, this is the one that keeps owners up at night, managing recurring schedules at scale. Now at FieldCamp, we have mastered recurring schedule management because of some customizability which we got. But let me paint the picture. Here we got 200 customers on contract. 40 of them are every 30 days. 60 of them are every 60 days. And 50 of them are every 90 days. The rest are weekly or bi-weekly. Now, every 30 days doesn't mean like fixed Jan 15, Feb 15, etc. but it means you've got a time window, and roughly every 5 weeks, for example, and you need to fit a job somewhere in that time window. And your dispatcher is looking at the week's opening and checking, okay, you know what, we can fit it somewhere because these 2 weeks, these 50 jobs are due. Basically, if I was doing it, I would just be doing a lot of guessing. And here's what AI does to solve this problem. It takes every recurring customer and then cycle frequency. So every 5 weeks, and it knows in advance that the coming week, I need to accommodate 500 gallon capacity for this restaurant. And then it's not just that week, but the whole month. And when something changes, something urgent comes up, then because of the advanced planning, it knows that it has 5 days or 4 days to spare if it has to push back while meeting the customer time window. And the third one, as I said earlier, time management, where time window restrictions are destroying you. And this is one is like uniquely brutal for a service company. HVAC companies or other companies don't go through it because 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 1 a.m., 24/7, etc. Those problems are hard to solve. And to build routes basically at middle of night when traffic, of course, it's not there, but the capacity is more of a constraint. Zigzagging doesn't make any sense. So AI dispatching, basically, this is a solved problem for HVAC and plumbing companies. Same things apply here. Just the time constraints change. But the time windows the customer gives you, like restaurant tells you, hey, come between 12 at night to 4 in the morning, anytime between that. The AI dispatcher would respect that and try to fit it in a route on top of capacity planning. And now, what about the math? So let's take a 5 truck, maybe grease trap company doing about 25 jobs a day. Time saved on scheduling from this alone is 2 hours per day. That's around 40 hours. And $1,000 a month if you do like hourly calculation. But route optimization, fewer dump truck detours, etc., can help you take like around $2,000 a month. And then at a $250 average ticket for a grease trap pump, that's 5 to 10 extra jobs every single day. And here's what I need you to take away from this entire thing. If you run a grease trap company, a hood cleaning company, or a chimney sweep operation, a fire suppression inspection business, your dispatching challenge is harder than a standard HVAC or a plumbing service company. Not a little harder, exponentially harder, as I said, because of capacity and time window constraints. Recurring is an easier problem to solve, but those are the two things which are hard to solve. And most of the industry is still doing it uniquely. And FieldCamp, because of our technology, is the first software to solve this problem. And if you want to stay ahead of people, you want to reach out to us and we will be happy to talk to you. But before you do that, here's what I want you to observe for the upcoming week. 3 things, track them. How many unplanned dump trips did you have to do? How many jobs got pushed because of bad timing planning, recurring job planning, etc. And total time our truck was driving, like total miles it drove. So based on these 3 factors, you can make a decision. If the savings are not too big enough to get a software in, of course, keep doing the way you are doing things. But if you are observing that, hey, you know what, I can make like $3,000 extra of the time that is being spent on this, then reach out to us. Thank you.